Case number 50 on the calendar in the matter of Froelich versus Pleasant.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Judge Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated.
Ms. Froelich, you met the defendant online.
I did.
And you began dating, and according to you, things progressed very quickly. He gave you a ring. Is that correct?
He gave me the ring a bit later, right?
When?
The night that I went to repossess the car.
He gave you a ring?
Yeah.
That night?
Yes, he did. To show that he still loved me.
Okay, forget the rest. There came a time when the two of you discussed moving.
Yes.
Sir.
According to you, you paid certain expenses for that move because you were planning on moving in together. Am I reading that right? Am I not reading it right?
The expenses were things that he made up. At the time, I didn't know he was making it up.
When did you and Mr. Pleasant start dating? Month and year?
It was February 26, 2018.
And when was it that you gave him the first sum of money?
It was March 22nd, which was the day after he pinned me down to find out when we would get married. He wanted to know when.
So you met him in February, and in March he needed money.
Yes.
Okay. Ding-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling. That's a bell. How much money did he need, and for what?
The first amount of money was $3,500, which
For what?
I gave him because he said to move to Diablo to get out of the apartment he was in. He had already had a 9-month lease on it left. I have the paperwork here, Your Honor, of his showing me how much he needed to get out of his apartment rent.
I see.
And so that was the first $3,500.
Okay, so the first amount of money that he needed was to get out of his lease so that the two of you could move in together in another city.
Right.
And he needed $3,500. Did you, in fact, give him the $3,500?
I did.
Did you give it to him in check or cash?
It was cash.
Do you have a showing to me where you took the $3,500 from? The answer is either yes or no.
Yes.
Show me. Where did you take, in March, the $3,500 from?
Well, okay, I don't have exact.
Fine. So $3,500 gone.
Pardon me?
Now, gone.
Oh,
No, I'm telling you, the $3,500 is gone
yeah.
because you need proof.
I
We're
do
talking
have proof,
about
Your
some. Don't give me all that paperwork.
Okay.
I don't want to look at all that paperwork. Either you wrote him a check for $3,500 to his apartment complex, or you gave him cash of $3,500. You said it was cash. Nobody has $3,500 in cash laying under their mattress. So you have to show me when in March you took out $3,500 to give him from a savings account, from a checking account. Don't give me a whole bunch of papers. I don't want to see a whole bunch of papers. I want you to show me from a bank account where you took out $3,500.
I did not have to withdraw money. I do keep money at home in cash.
I'm telling you, he says you didn't give him any money. You can't prove to me that you did. He says he never received it. Do you have any communication from him?
I do.
Don't show me a whole bunch of papers. I don't want to see a whole bunch of papers.
Okay.
I'm not reading your life story. All I want to see is an acknowledgement from him that he received from you $3,500. That's all. Fine. You purchased a car. This isn't about the $3,500. No, this is about a car that you purchased for him. For how much?
$11,500.
And you repossessed that car.
I did.
And they gave you money back, but you were charged a restocking fee.
That's correct.
Show me. This doesn't say he owes you $3,500.
It was the lump sum, Your Honor.
This doesn't say he owes you $3,500, and I can't tell what it's for. Because all of this has to do with a car. Let's go. All I want to see is the restocking fee for the car. What are you showing me?
In the back there are the receipts that I paid for the car.
That's your problem. We're moving in with him. I want to know how much money, forget this $3,500 that you have no proof of. You bought the car in what month?
It was March 24th.
Well, Miss Froelich, weren't you getting the drift of him?
No,
you
I
met him
wasn't.
in February. March, he needs all kind of money. He doesn't have a car. You go out, you put the car on your credit card. Is that what you did?
No. Yes. Yes.
What, yes or no?
Yes.
What credit card?
I had 4 different credit cards I had to put it on.
Ms. Froelich, I'm going to ask you the following question. I want you to tell me the circumstances surrounding you purchasing this car in your name and allowing him to drive it.
The first meeting we had, he told me he had been scammed by a woman.
Now, listen to me.
All right.
Got the wrong program. I want to know how it came about the car was purchased. And if you can't articulate it to me, I'll have Mr. Pleasant articulate
I
it
can
to
tell
me.
you.
Fine.
He told me his electric went out in his car and he needed $1,000 to fix that. The next morning, he came back to me after breakfast and said, "Oh my gosh, now the car won't, his car won't start at all, and he's going to need a new car," because he had to go on his deep sea diving for Chevron the following day, which he was going to get $15,000 for. So he said, since we're buying $1 million home together, he was going to buy it. And Your Honor, I have
Okay, so he
paperwork.
told you, uncross your arms. He told you he pre-qualified for a loan, so he was buying
Yes.
a house that you were going to go
It was
be
supposed to be our-
together. Okay, so he said he needed a new car.
Yeah, and he said, I can't have any more debt to income ratio. So he said, could you put it on your credit cards?
And you said,
And he
okay.
said, I will pay you back the next day because I'm going on a deep sea diving, which, Your Honor, he does not deep sea dive.
This was on March 24th?
Yes, he's not a diver.
Okay. Mr. Pleasant, I want you to tell me your version of how Miss Froelich put the car on her credit card that was for you to drive.
It leads up to the story that was told in the beginning. We met.
No, I don't want to hear when you met. You met in February. In
Right.
March, all of a sudden, you had terrible financial problems. Now, I want you to tell me about the car.
Okay.
Just
What
the
led
car.
up to the car situation is that I worked for the city of Seattle for SDOT. They transferred me up to Diablo, which she just mentioned, which is a rugged terrain area up in the mountain. Employees have to live up there. I asked her if she wanted to go with me. She said she wouldn't go unless she was married. Okay, because it was far
Listen to
away
me.
from her family. Okay.
Can we please get to the car?
Bottom line is,
Not bottom line. Get to the car. She just told me a story.
But-
Look at my face. She said, you came in after breakfast and you said to her, my car won't start and I can't have any more debt because we're buying this house in Diablo together. Could you put it on your credit card? That's the story Miss Froelich told me. Now, I want to hear your version of how you got this car because you have a counterclaim for the return of the car.
okay,
So I want to hear you tell me how you got the car.
okay. Actually, I got the car because the car,
Not because,
my car went down.
fine,
This is the car that
your
was
car went down. And where were you when your car went down?
at her house, matter of fact.
Okay, so you were at her house and you came inside and said, my car is dead.
Yes.
Pick it up from there.
Okay, from there, we talked about the fact that we needed a reliable car going up to Diablo. Okay, because it's a rugged terrain. The car that she has definitely wouldn't do it because it's one of these long, small little box cars. So I said, we need to figure out how I need to get this car fixed or whatever the case may be.
Who said? Who said?
We both were talking.
No. You said, we have to figure out. That's what you said.
Ain't no question, I did say that.
Okay, we have to figure out how to get my car fixed.
That's right.
Okay, she had a car.
Yeah.
Okay, good. And now we have to figure out how to get my car fixed. And next,
So we sat there and talked about it. She said, I will give you a loan. She said, what kind of a car you think you want? What range do you think it would be in? I said about $6,000 because I wanted a truck. Okay. And she says, okay. Walked away out of her house that night with thinking that she's going to give me $6,000 to go get a car. Got to my house. No more maybe about 4 or 5 hours later, I received a phone call saying that instead of me giving you $6,000, I have these credit cards that I can put it on the credit cards and you can make payments on this car. I said, fine. Next morning, went back over to her house, got in her car, she driving, and we went looking for cars.
Okay.
Went down to the place where we bought the car, went into the place, found the car, 2 gentlemen in there. Okay,
Just a second.
I need to add this, Judge Judy, I really do. The 2 gentlemen there clearly made it clear because of the area
no,
that
listen to me. Don't tell me what the 2 gentlemen in the place made it clear. That's hearsay and inadmissible.
Okay.
All I want to know.
They asked her, they did
Listen
ask.
listen to me carefully. Not they asked her, not they said to her, not they told her. That's all hearsay. Unless you have them here as a witness, then I can hear them.
Okay.
Do you understand?
Yes.
Don't try to sneak it in. I don't want to hear it.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
She came to my house with police,
Just a
knocking on
second.
my door,
Just a
banging and everything because she felt like there was another female in there.
Was there?
Okay, absolutely it was. But she didn't know what female it was.
Okay.
Bill Street.